The top 10 running backs for the 2025 fantasy football season.
Guy is super talented, and like I said, he does control that backfield. He's on the field a lot. I want that workhorse type guy. I like Jonathan Taylor.
The scariest pick of the top 10 for me. It's CMC. He'll either win you the freaking league or he'll either make you finish last place and do punishment, boys.
I mean, this is a guy, if he plays and he plays for you, he's going to win you your league, right?
Even in his 30s, I'm still going to draft Derrick Henry. It's like Godzilla running up the A gap, if we're being honest. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Catching a Vibe. I'm Drew. He's Mike, and today we have another fantasy football video. And today we're doing the top 10 running backs for the 2025 fantasy football season. Last year was a bounce back year for running backs. Now, a couple year trend of doing 0 running backs till like the 8th round. But last year, the top 10 scorers, other than quarterbacks, 6 of them were running backs to receivers. So maybe the running backs are back to being the dominant position in fantasy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think so too. I'm excited about, going through this list here and coming up with 10 running backs. So I have a question for you.
Sure.
When you're planning for a draft, what kind of strategy do you have going into a draft? Are you an RB heavy or a RB hero or receivers, or how do you approach a draft?
I kind of like to get like 2 running backs before like round 5 or 6, to be honest. Then so later I can draft, great value running backs and like guys that I think have potential to be sleepers. So that's kind of the strategy I've been going with recently.
Yeah.
How about you?
So for me, it's all based on the format, right? If it's a 2 running back, 2 receiver format, I think that makes the running backs gives them a boost where they're more important. But if it's a 2 running back, 3 receivers, then those receivers go off the board a lot earlier. Mm-hmm. So you're going to tend to go after the receivers earlier in the draft. For me, it's kind of the format and what position you are in a draft and value, right? So that's what you want to look for, is the value in the player.
And the thing is, receivers, there's just so many good receivers you could pick from. Like, you could get Calvin Ridley, who could finish as a top 15 receiver in like the 7th round. Mm-hmm. You can't get a top 15 running back in the 7th round.
Right.
Unless he has like a huge breakout year, but you know what I'm trying to say.
But when you go with that RB hero approach, right, and then you go heavy with the receivers, later down the draft, you might find a steal in like Travion Henderson. I'm kind of high on a rookie coming in with playmaking ability. This guy could just bust the play anytime, know. So he's ready. But that's kind of the approach I have, and I just wanted to ask you about. So.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a good question. Hopefully that helps you guys out. So we're going 10-1 again. I know someone commented that that's stupid to go there. We're doing it again. So
yeah, I like that better. A little suspenseful.
Yeah, even though, keeps you to the end of the
video. Though the 1 or 2 is pretty obvious, I would feel, but it's still more fun that way.
All right, so number 10 for me, I got Ashton Jeanty here at the 10 spot. Tremendous college production. He had 2,600 rushing yards and 29 touchdowns. He does have workhorse upside. There's no real threat to steal snaps from him. They have Raheem Mostert, but he's like 33, and I don't think his legs still work anymore. And I'm just a little nervous. The biggest thing about Ashton Jeanty is the Raiders' offensive line is not great. So that could lead to him not producing as a top 5 running back where he's getting drafted at. I think Geno Smith, an improved quarterback, will take some pressure off them, put them in good positions, but they just don't have any elite linemen. And that kind of scares me a bit. I think Ashton's going to be pretty good as a rookie, but I just have to put him at 10. I can't put him higher with the 9 guys are more proven.
Right. I agree with you because he's my 10. And the reason why I'm putting him there is that risk reward and volume, right? So you're thinking that coming into this year, he's going to get a high volume carries and output for him. So that's why I'm putting him there, because you got to have a little risk for some of these young guys coming in. That's what I like about him. To me, like you just spoke about, is the Raiders' offense is terrible. Offensive line is almost dead last. I'm scared to take him any higher than that. I know you look around and see other drafts and people want to pick him off the board earlier, but I don't want anything to do with that because I don't see a great improvement on the Raiders team, other than maybe Geno Smith can come in and, make this offense click a little bit and move the ball down the field. But I got to put him at 10 because that's the best spot I have for him. Other guys that I like better than him, I like Chase Brown because of the offense that he's on. He's on a more explosive offense, and Bucky Irvin are two guys that I like, but I'm going to go with the volume that Genty offers you. That's why I have him at 10.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And for number 9, I have Chase Brown, the guy you just talked about. He finished as RB10 last year, and he didn't really start till week 3. They had Zach Moss, who just got released from the Bengals, but Chase Brown had almost 1,000 rushing yards last year. He had 7 touchdowns, 300 receiving yards, and 4 touchdowns. He's RB1 now, guys, in a high-powered offense. I mean, we have talked about the Bengals offense the past, 4 videos. Everyone knows how good they are. But he averaged 16 a game last year, and from week 9 to 15, he scored 23 a game. Zach Taylor has been telling reporters he wants to get Chase Brown the ball more in more ways too. So you hear that sounds like a high chance of a high amount of touchdowns this year for Chase Brown. And we all know the Bengals offense is going to be great, and he's going to be a key piece. So I want Chase Brown.
Mm-hmm. I like that pick as well. I mean, the thing with him and the guys that I went with are more volume-based guys that are in the backfield a lot more, that are out there, more snap counts, stuff like that. So the guy I went with, number 9, is Kyren Williams. This guy had 238 fantasy points for the year. Attempts, this is the big thing for me. He had 316 attempts. This is a guy that's probably on the field 85% of the snaps on this offense. Mm-hmm. So this is a guy that I want a piece of him because he's going to put up. He has opportunities. Opportunities is a big thing for me. He had almost 1,300 rush yards. And he gets some receiving. I wish that would come up a little bit. He had 14 touchdowns. I hope he gets a little more involved in the receiving side of it, and that'll bump him up even higher. But as far as that, I want him. He's my number 9, and I love the volume that he carries with it. So that's why I went with Kyren Williams.
No, that's a good pick because you love getting volume from running backs. My number 8, he actually wears this number. It's Josh Jacobs, who finished as RB6 last year in his first year with the Packers. He's a true 3-down back. He doesn't have any competition in Green Bay. I think Jordan Love's going to be better this year, improved offensive line. He caught fire towards the end of the year. From, it says week 8 to week 15, he averaged about 20 a game too. He was a huge piece for a bunch of teams last year. So I love Josh Jacobs here, and I think he's going to be another stud. I can't put him a little higher just because he's getting a little older, but I think he's going to be reliable this year.
Yeah, I like Josh Jacobs as well. He's a little higher for me. My number 8, Jonathan Taylor, right? This guy he had 226 fantasy points, 1,400 rush yards. This guy loves to carry the ball. He had 303 attempts. So I like the guys in the 300 mark attempts because that means he's getting attempts. He's getting chances. Those are the things that I love. He averages over 100 rush yards a game, 11 touchdowns, 136 receiving yards. He doesn't get much there, but if he bumps the receiving yards up and receptions in a PPR league, he's worth gold in the league. This guy is super talented. And like I said, he does control that backfield. He's on the field a lot. I want that workhorse type guy. I like Jonathan Taylor at 8.
Yeah, That's a great pick because I have him at number 7. He finished as RB12 last year. I mean, my God, was the Colts quarterback situation awful last year. If Anthony Richardson could just be a smidge better in Tim Tebow, for Christ's sake, Jonathan Taylor will be in better situations.
Right.
And they have Danny Dimes too. So maybe Danny Dimes, he had one good year in his career. Maybe he could bounce back with the Colts. But Jonathan Taylor is such a home run hitter, man. And he's efficient between the tackles. Um, Anthony Richardson, he can run. So teams do kind of have to worry about him keeping the ball on reads.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, this is another running back who caught fire towards the end of last year fantasy season. So I think you got to have Jonathan Taylor in your top 10, and I'm high on him this year.
Definitely a good running back. I'm flip flop with you.
Mm-hmm.
I got Josh Jacobs ahead of him for a couple reasons, really. One is the offense is better. You know, he's going to have more opportunities on Green Bay as opposed to Jonathan Taylor with the Colts. Josh Jacobs was, like you said, a PPR guy, 257 fantasy points, 1,300 rush yards, 301 attempts. There's that 300 mark that I like. And the thing that puts him above someone like Jonathan Taylor is the receiving yards. He had 342 receiving yards, so he's doubled up like Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
15 rushing touchdowns. Like I said, he's on a better offense. 43 targets. I love that. This is a guy in a PPR league. I know he's getting older, but he's still valuable. He's on a great offense. That's why I got to go with Josh Jacobs. You know, the limit is the sky's the limit for this guy right here with this offense, because I think Green Bay is among one of the top offenses.
No doubt. So number 6, this is the scariest pick of the top 10 for me, and everyone knows where I'm going with this. It's CMC. He'll either win you the freaking league, or he'll either make you finish last place and do punishment, boys. He finished as running back 69 last year. I mean, training camp, he got hurt. Remember that dilemma when they were hesitant to tell what actually was going on? Then you're sitting on your couch Saturday and you get the report that he's going to miss some time and you're upset. But this year he's healthy so far. And he's sliding down the draft, so he could be a steal for your teams. We know what CMC looks like when he's healthy. They don't have Debo, so Debo's not going to take carries away from him. They traded Jordan Mason, who was the running back who took over. So who's the 49ers backup running back?
Isaac Rendo is, but he's a little bit banged up now. He's not even, he's in training camp sitting on the sideline. So I agree.
I'm saying Shanahan knows how to bring the best out of CMC.
Yeah, right.
And I think it's worth a shot this year. He can't get hurt every year of his career.
Right. I agree with you that he is the biggest boomer bust. He's my number 6 as well. I mean, this is a guy, if he plays and he plays for you, he's going to win you your league.
Right.
So him slipping down and maybe even falling into that second round, I'm picking him up just for the risk reward. If he doesn't play, oh well, maybe you draft someone else and get the guy to fill in for him. But if he's playing, this guy averages almost 24 fantasy points a game. He's going to win you. He's going to win you games. He's going to win you your league. I like CMC, and like you said, the stats weren't there because he had some injuries last year. But when he's healthy and right, this guy's the man to get. I like him, and I got to put him at 6.
He's a PPR monster.
Yes.
Yeah. So number 5, I have Derrick Henry. Last year, he finished as RB4. Even in his 30s, I'm still going to draft Derrick Henry. It's like Godzilla running up the A gap. If we're being honest, guys. All right, Derrick Henry remains a goal line beast, high volume rusher, 12,000 yards plus potential, perfect scheme fit. I mean, Baltimore, him and Lamar Jackson, they're the two best backfield in the league. I mean, he scored 15 touchdowns last year, so I could see him getting there 12 to 15 in that range. like what the Ravens are going to rely on. They're going to rely on running the ball with Derrick Henry and Lamar. So you gotta have Derrick Henry at 5.
I agree with Godzilla. We'll call him that. Derrick Henry is my number 5. Listen, all this guy did was finish second with fantasy points scored for the year with 317. This guy still puts up 1,900 yards, 325 attempts, 5.9 yards per carry. This guy's amazing. 113 yards per game. I love this. If this guy ever caught fire as far as catching passes out of the backfield instead of running over people, this guy would be the number 1 fantasy pick overall. This guy is a stud. I agree with you as well. Derrick Henry, I could almost put him higher, but since he doesn't offer that PPR side of it,
Right.
he drops down a little bit, but he's still amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you gotta be thrilled every time you get Derrick Henry on your fantasy team. All right, number 4. I have Devon Achane. Last year finished as RB5. I mean, PPR monster. I have him over Derrick Henry just because of the catching ability that Achane has.
Right.
He averaged 16 or 6 catches a game last year for the Dolphins. That was the second most on the team. Home run hitter. He's one of the fastest players in the league. Devon averaged 20 points a game when Tua was out there.
Mm-hmm.
When Tua wanted to try to run over someone and miss some games.
If he's not knocking himself out.
If he's not knocking himself out, Devon Achane was a PPR monster. And you got to have him at 4. Raheem Mostert left. He's with the Raiders. So there's no committee you have to worry about with Achane. Right. He's the 3 down running back for the Dolphins this year.
Exactly. That's what he offers you that you like is the 3 down capability. He's my number 4 as well. This guy averages 221 fantasy points is what he got last year. With 2 out, that offense is a little flat. But the thing you love about him is the receiving side of it. He had 900 rush yards, which ain't bad. He's almost a 1,000-yard receiver, right? 500 and almost 600 receiving yards, 78 receptions. Right there is amazing. 87 targets. Those are all things that you want to get out of this guy right here. And like you said, he's got no one in the backfield that's going to push him and take snaps away from him. I think this guy is going to have his breakout year this year. I like Devon Achane. I would put him higher, but the guys ahead of him just offer the same thing, and they're probably a little bit more cemented in their better offense.
And they're not as scary as getting an injury too. Devon, we saw his rookie year, he got banged up a couple times.
He's a little on the smaller side.
Nicked. Yeah, he's the smaller running back on this list, I'm pretty sure, weight-wise. All right, number 3. I got Saquon Barkley here. Last year, he finished as RB2 with 325 points. That's average. He had the second highest average for a running back last year. Saquon is the modern-day Boobie Miles. He can run, he can catch, and he can pass. Saquon can do anything he wants. Last year, he proved to the world that he is still one of the best running backs in the game. I think he's the best. He had monster games last year. I mean, handful of times he won you your matchup just by his performance. 31, 29 twice, 31 and 44-point matchup. Had a 20-point average. I think he's going to have another great year. Just, I don't know if it's going to be another 2,000-yard rushing season.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I have him at number 3, which is pretty dang good. So
right.
I just have a feeling he's not going to get 2,000 yards.
Mm. So I have a feeling we flip-flop these guys. I'm going with Jahmyr Gibbs as number 3. Jahmyr Gibbs was 3rd in fantasy points last year with 310. He had 1,400 rush yards, 250 attempts. He shares the backfield a little bit with Montgomery, so that kind of hurts a little bit. He doesn't own the backfield, but I think he's stepping in the right direction where he is going to own the backfield a little more this year. He's a pass catching guy. He had 63 targets, 52 receptions, 517 receiving yards, which was third most for a running back. I think these numbers are going to come up because I think he's going to get more playing time. This guy offers unlimited scoring for you because I think he's super talented. He's on a great offense. So he's going to get opportunities galore here. I have him at 3 just simply because I think the other two guys offer just slightly a little bit more opportunity.
No, I totally get it. So you're right. We did flip flop. Number 2, I have Jameer Gibbs here. They've been Lions reporters have been saying that he's been running out with the number 1 offense more than usual. Last year, Montgomery would run out with them, and they've also said Jameer is getting more involved in the passing game. He is a home run hitter. You throw him a slant, he can take it to the house. You throw him a
Very
screen
fast.
pass, he's one of the fastest players in the league. So I think he has extreme upside, and we've seen him dominate with the limited touches he had. He averaged 15 touches last year. If he can get up to 20, I think he could easily be RB1 this year. So he's younger than Saquon. That's why I have him above Saquon.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you got
Yeah, those two guys you can't really
you
go
can't
wrong
go wrong.
with.
It's like
Right.
1A, 1B, 1C. with
Either
these
one, you
three.
could flip flop them from third to first. But so my number 2 is Saquon Barkley. He finished number 1 overall in fantasy points, 322 fantasy points. So over 2,005 yards rushing. That was almost 600 more yards rushing than Jameer Gibbs offered you. So he's going to scale down a little bit, obviously, but the Philadelphia Eagles offense is so explosive. This guy's their number 1 go-to guy on this. He gets the team going. 345 rushing attempts. That's going to scale back a little bit. I think if they want to preserve him and keep him healthy the whole season, they're probably going to have to come back a little bit on that. 125 rushing yards a game last year. Incredible season he put together for you. The thing here is if he can get these numbers up, he's going to have another great year for you. He had 43 targets, 33 receptions, 280 receiving yards. If he bumps them up a little bit, he's going to be the scoring. He's going to win the title again for the most fantasy points for the running backs. I think he's amazing. I know he's getting older, but he still has some fresh legs there on a great offense. He's going to offer great numbers for you.
He definitely has the best offensive line of these guys on the list.
Right.
All right, so number 1 here.
Right.
Bijan Robinson.
Sure.
I think he's everyone's RB1
Right.
coming into this season. Elite talent. One of the most complete running back prospects in years. Elite vision, balance, his feet, his footwork.
Yeah.
Crisp. I expect heavy usage both as a runner and receiver. Michael Penix is taking over, so they're going to lean on him. And when Penix played last year, Bijan was scoring like 26 a game too. So Bijan is super talented. I think this is a year where he shows that he's the best running back in the league.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's my number 1. He finished with 280 fantasy points, second in rushing, most rushing yards, 1,900 rushing yards, 325 attempts. And like we talked about with Bijan, he offers a lot more on the receiving game with you. He had 72 targets, 61 receptions, 431 receiving yards. I mean, he had 14 rushing touchdowns. This kid, I think, will finish as the number 1 RB and push to almost be the most fantasy points scored for the year.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson is the starter on this Atlanta's offense. Robinson, I think he's one of the better running backs in there. He offers so much for you. I think he's clearly the number 1 guy out there.
I agree. So do you have any honorable mentions or a sleeper you want to talk about real quick? You don't.
Well, to me, the two guys that didn't make the board that I mentioned early with Ashton Genty, two guys that I think probably are superstars, maybe breakouts of the year, Chase Brown and Bucky Irving. I think Bucky Irving's going to get a little more of the carries, and he's going to get more of the offensive snaps for Tampa Bay. Chase Brown's on an amazing offense, and he ripped it up at the end of last season. So, I mean, both these guys could very easily make it into the top 10. Those are two guys that I'm high on that if they slip in a draft, incredible value for you to get.
Yeah, no doubt. So I have two honorable mentions. Bucky Irving is one of them. He had 1,100 yards last year, 8 touchdowns, and he was splitting carries with Rachaad White. I think he's going to be 60-40 split this year with Rachaad. Kyren Williams, who finished as RB7 last year, I think he's a very good running back. I just like the 10 in front of him a little bit more than him. Then my deep sleeper is Trey Benson, the Cardinals running back. They've been talking a lot about him and that him and James Conner are going to split the RB1 role.
Yeah.
He's going later in drafts. I think he could be a huge steal, and James Conner gets banged up a lot.
He does.
So I think he could be an incredible value pick for your fantasy teams.
Oh, I think that's an excellent sleeper. Trey Benson, I'm high on coming into. He's definitely a handcuff guy for you. So I like that as well. What a great sleeper pick.
Thank you. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give the video a like, comment what your favorite joke or your favorite pick was today. I'd really appreciate that. Please subscribe too if you haven't already. Or
that's real easy to do. Here. I mean, just hit a button.
Just hit a button like the old man says.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.